Welcome to the Tournament Center. I'm Randy Buehler here with Brian David-Marshall. Day one of the 2008 Magic the Gathering World Championships is in the books. Bunch of storylines, 5 undefeated decks. They played Standard today for 6 rounds, and then they played Team Constructed today for 2 rounds. So kind of got some individual and some team stuff going on. Standard was where most of the action was. The 5 undefeateds include 3 Fairy decks, Fairies 1, 2, 3, and then a couple of White Weenie-ish decks. One kind of boat brew, one a little more traditional White Weenie. I tell you the guy, for me, who's the story right now, Masashi Oiso says, I'm bringing the team championships home to Japan. Masashi Oiso puts up a 6-0. Another interesting story, Aaron Nicastri.
Aaron Nicastri has put in his dues. He won the Australian National Championship and said, you know what? I'm going to play the game, see the world, right? He signed on, and he said, I'm going to go to all these Grand Prix. He went to Paris. He went around Asia. I mean, he had a hard road.
Yes.
He picked up 2 or 3 points along the way. And, you know, it was a learning experience for him. He was spending time with some of the best players in the world, staying with them, traveling with them, watching what they do. And at the end of day one, he's 6-0.
Yes. Nicastri came into the tournament in first place in the Rookie of the Year competition, but only by 1 point. 1 point lead. He put up a 6-0. He had Australia in first place in the team competition coming into the last 2 rounds. They fell to 4th. They did lose the last round. They drew with Japan. They lost to number 1 in the team competition. Did you have this in your pool?
Obviously.
South Korea. South Korea won. Ukraine is in second. The Ukraine beat Japan in the last round of the team competition. So it goes South Korea, Ukraine, then the United States, who was kind of middle of the pack-ish, but put up, win-win in the teams constructed.
Well, it's 18 points, right? I mean,
9 points, 9 points.
9 points for 18 points. They just rocketed it up.
Right. So team constructed is the team format. They had 1 guy playing Standard, 1 guy playing Extended, 1 guy playing Legacy. 2 rounds of that tonight at 9 points a match. 2 rounds of that on Saturday. Again, 9 points for a win there. So triple the points you get from the individual competition.
We got a little bit of a preview of the extended portion.
Yes, we did.
We got to see players playing extended. Was there as many elf decks as you expected to see here this weekend?
You know, I was expecting a little bit more. I walked around, like the feature match area only had 1 elf deck out of the 4 that sat down. I mean, it's clearly here, but there's clearly a lot of people that think they can beat elves too. I saw a lot more Tron than I was expecting. That was the thing that leapt out at me.
Right. Well, one of the things that's happened is people have talked about this Gift Rock deck.
Okay.
Which is really, it's the Gift Rock deck that won the Winter King.
Okay.
It's really good against elves. It's really good against goblins. It's really good against fairies.
Those are 3 good decks to be good against.
So a lot of people have said, well, I don't want to play those decks. I don't know if I want to play Gift Rock. I think what I want to play now.
Something that beats Gift Rock?
Yeah, something
and
that
that's
beats
Tron?
And that's Tron.
Well, there's your rock, paper, scissors. I guess.
So the answer is play elves, right?
Sounds to me like, yeah, shuffle up the elves. Bring out the broken combo deck, the stuff to me, People are talking about, should you ban this? Is this, remember 6 out of top 8 in Berlin? Fine, people know about it. I would be playing elves, I think.
Yeah. And again, one of the things we talked about in Berlin, by the way, we had all these kind of stories about what's the right build, and we felt like maybe there was a definitive elf deck that comes out of Berlin.
Yeah.
I saw Cloudstone Curios today. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of people having this conversation right now. It's kind of interesting how the team competition does preview Extended, which is Saturday's format for the individual competition. So people who didn't have a deck, they're looking around. All right, so there's day one for you. We've got South Korea, Ukraine, US in the team competition. We've got Chung, Asahara, Oisa, Nicastri, and Nam undefeated in the individual competition. Tomorrow is going to be booster draft. Everybody comes back. What are you going to be watching for?
I'm going to be watching to see who can make a run on Shuhei Nakamura. We've got 2 players who've been terrific, absolutely terrific in Shard's booster draft. Luis Scott Vargas and Olivier Ruel.
Yeah.
Olivier Ruel says he has never known a limited format as well as he knows this one. He's never felt as confident as he feels in this limited format.
Shuhei left the door open today.
Shuhei has definitely left the door open. He went 3-3.
3-3. He came in with a 14-point lead. So in order to beat him, one of his near competitors is going to have to top 8, maybe even make the finals to close the gap. But LSV is sitting at 5-1. Olivier is sitting at 4-1-1. Plus he can get some points from France in the team competition. I think Shuhei left the door open a crack.
And I think maybe the pendulum has swung a little towards LSV here. He's got the momentum going in, and Olivier's kind of, the French team has not
Yeah, they were thought to be one of the favorites coming
They
in, but
haven't really-
24th.
Yeah, they're not doing very well. They're going to get their, right now they're shaping up to get the sort of minimum
Yeah.
point allotment that you can get.
Fair. Well, that's the story from day one of Worlds. Tune in tomorrow, 6 rounds of booster draft. Player of the Year coming to an end, Rookie of the Year, individuals, teams, a lot going on this weekend.
Maybe a Legacy deck tech tomorrow.
Oh, maybe we'll see what we can find
I've
out.
been watching some Legacy, trying to get ready for the finals.
Lots going on. Keep your browser tuned to magicthegathering.com for the Tournament Center and Brian David-Marshall. This is Randy Buehler.